What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar. So I was a little off on my count, but today is episode 60.
Holy
Whee!
cow. What
I was
what has
thinking last
happened?
week was 58, but it was 59, so this week is 60. So yay!
We had two 58s and a 60. That's how life works sometimes.
Apparently, yes. We bring you that Monday energy. We are live. If you're watching this later, no worries. Comment down below. And if you are live, join us in the live chat. And there we go. And boom. Hello, I am Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
And we are going to be covering exciting anime coming to theaters, other announcements, as well as we'll be talking about Trigun Stampede, My Hero Academia, and other recommendations for you. So stick around for all of that. And in case you missed it, go check out last week's episode. Special thank you to Alex Von David, who joined us on that, talking a little bit about SAO. So go check that out if you haven't watched it.
And the latest SAO movie is still in theaters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let's get into it. So things we are excited about.
Yes. The thing on everyone's mind, Demon Slayer.
Woo-hoo!
I'm sure we're all familiar. If you've been around for a minute, of course, you've seen us covering it. And there goes my brain. Yay. This comes from Crunchyroll. For those of you who are interested in seeing Demon Slayer back in theaters, for those who loved Mugen Train and would love that theatrical experience again, Crunchyroll and Aniplex have you covered. There are North American tickets now on sale for Demon Slayer to the Swordsmith Village. So what this is they've basically taken episodes and made a movie, and again, in much the same way that Mugen Train was, but they are taking the last two episodes of the Entertainment District arc and the extended version of the first episode of the Swordsmith Village arc, and they are, again, stitching it all together, making a movie. We are having that theatrical experience, and it will be remastered in 4K. If you were fortunate enough to get a ticket to the premiere this coming weekend in Hollywood, congratulations. That's going to be a blast. If you were not able to do that, tickets are available. They're now on sale, and you should be able to get tickets for your local theater too. So, hang out with your friends, hang out with the local nerds, go to the screenings. If the screenings for Mugen Train were anything to judge by, it's going to be a blast. It's always a theater full of Demon Slayer fans, and it's always so much fun. So those tickets are now available. I'm sure they gave us a website, but I'm also sure that you could go to like your local AMC or whatever. Tickets.demonslayer-movie.com. Go there, get your tickets, watch the screening. Gonna be great. Very excited for this upcoming season.
Yes, and then I think we mentioned it, but in case we didn't, it's the last two episodes of the previous arc combined with the one of the next one, which I'm pretty sure you did just say, but reiterating because it's so exciting. Because it's nice to have that refresher and then going into the new one. And I'm really excited to see how well because that show is just bam, bam, bam of how that blends into the next one.
The final two episodes of the fight with Gyutaro remastered in 4K. I mean, for those who were not watching when we were doing that, I have been making Gyutaro is the same as Gabriel from Malignant jokes for a while. So can't wait to see this iteration of Gabriel on the big screen. But that fight is beautiful. Can't wait to see it. Also, remastered.
Yes. Speaking of coming to theater, GKIDS is releasing this filmed performance of Spirited Away live on stage. So this is the first ever stage production of Hayao Miyazaki's Academy Award-winning masterpiece. So the pictures for it look really cool. I'm excited to see that kind of production fully visualized, but just the pictures alone, I'm like, yes, they are nailing this. It looks so cool. Let me see.
So they had a Totoro musical that was on tour, I believe, in the UK for a bit. So I have a friend who went to go see it, and she was just beside herself with glee. So I am super psyched to see even a filmed screening of this. Just sounds absolutely incredible.
So it was filmed during the production of the 2022 run at the Historical Imperial Theater in Tokyo, Japan. And it will be, I was like, where'd it go? And is adapted and directed to the stage by Tony Award winner John I apologize if I say the name wrong, Caird, C-A-I-R-D, the Honorary Associate Director for the Royal Shakespeare Company, who gained international acclaim for adapting and directing the world premiere of the landmark production of Les Mis. So that's pretty cool. All combos.
That is a hell of a pedigree. Let's be real.
So check your local listings for that production of Spirited Away, the live production recorded, and it will be coming spring 2023.
I was about to say, is there a date? And the answer is kind of. There's a season
soon. Yes.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Again, give it, a couple weeks and then check that coming soon section of the AMC app, or, Google it, find out where your tickets are sold. I default to AMC because it's my local theater, but that's definitely not the only one where you can see these.
Yes. Looking over the chat real quick, we got Giga Derek saying howdy.
Howdy.
And then we got Charles pointing out there have been some leaks on Twitter of footage of that first episode of Swordsmith Village from the Japan premiere. No,
rude.
No spoilers here. No,
rude.
Don't spoil it, people. Don't do that.
Rude.
Yes.
Not Charles being rude, just leaking it. Rude.
Yes.
Rude.
No spoilers here, everybody. Come on now.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yep. I tell you not to do the thing, maybe don't do the thing.
Yep.
All right. Switching gears a bit. For those of you who know your manga and anime history, the name Osamu Tezuka should mean a little something to you. And for those who don't, creator of Astro Boy, among many, many other things. We have a new press release from Ablaze. Ablaze has licensed 4 manga titles from Osamu Tezuka, and this is very exciting that they're licensing these and that they will be available for distribution starting in August of this year for the first title, and then the rest of them will be launched in print and digitally in the later part of 2023 and in 2024. The titles that we have, the first one we're getting in August is 100 Tales, an adaptation of the Faust legend as a samurai period piece. Then we're getting Shakespeare Manga Theater later this year, where Osamu Tezuka has adapted just a number of Shakespeare's works: Hamlet, Othello, Taming of the Shrew, Macbeth. Evidently, his adaptation of Romeo and Juliet features Astro Boy. So that fun little compilation will be out later in 2023. Tomorrow the Birds in Q2 of 2024, a science fiction manga depicting a future society in which evolved birds surpass humanity. And Neo Faust in late 2024, an adaptation of Faust. And it was his third time adapting it, actually, and one of the final things that he worked on. So we have 4 titles from Osamu Tezuka being licensed and being available for English release later this year and next year. And that, again, is coming from Ablaze. So that just sounds fun. I have read a chunk of his work, and he is absolutely amazing. Just amazing. Just the storytelling chops are so good. So very excited. Very excited. You are muted.
There were some noisy people outside, so I'm muted. So anyways.
Yep.
There we go. Another exciting thing we got from High Dive. The tournament begins this summer with Hulk on High Dive. I look at that and I'm like, Hulk? Well, that's a fun word.
It took a moment. Like, is this a place? Is this it's a person.
Yeah, so High Dive, they acquired the new action fantasy TV series Hulk from Nippon TV. So it's based on popular shonen manga. Written and illustrated by Nanaki Nanao. Long Way to Anime series will simulcast exclusively on High Dive and is scheduled to premiere during the upcoming summer 2023 season.
All right.
So, woohoo! Also, if you go, I'm like, let me double check.
So,
yep, if you go onto the, pardon?
Go ahead.
If you go over to the High Dive YouTube account, you can watch a teaser on their channel.
Nice.
There we go. Yes, with English subtitles.
So we got a little time to finish out the spring season and get super hyped for summer.
Yes.
All right.
Yay. There we go. I was going to say.
Speaking of super hype, Trigun.
Well, I was gonna say the other thing. I was so excited I forgot about it because it's a double dose of it, and I didn't mention it at the top. But we have an unboxing too.
Oh, that's
I was like,
right.
oh yes, we have an unboxing.
I'm very
because
good at this.
It's okay. Well, this one came in time for Valentine's Day. Now,
Oh, that's heckin' cute.
right? It's adorable. I was like, there we go, the side, and then hold on one second. I'm trying to
Not dox
strategically-
yourself.
Yeah, just something like that. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
So it's like a cute little box
Love letter.
description there. And Valentine's is for everybody. You don't have to be in a couple or anything. Giga Derek, big Monday in there. Always. We
Indeed.
always bring you the Monday energy.
Indeed.
So yes, I want to showcase this. So a huge thank you to Japan Crate. So let's look at it. Yay.
Hey.
So then this one, there's a code, but they have I got $10. They did a $10 off for
A future box, I assume.
experiences. Japan Crate. So card for experiences. So I'll have to check that out. So that's fun.
Fun.
And then let's look at the inside.
Oh.
Nothing's falling. There we go. Good. I'm like, nothing fall
like-
down.
Angles.
So the box, they come with these handy dandy flyers. So all these fun pictures and breakdown of all the candy inside. And then you might get your photo featured. So make sure to submit it when you get your box. So let's see. Oh, I think you're going to be excited about this one, Katie, for the Kit Kat.
Let's
We
go.
got milk tea again.
Yes.
So I was like,
The
how
good
can we-
stuff.
Milk tea has been hype the past few years, so they collabed with Kit Kat and made the most underwhelming flavor of the year. I'm like, wait, really? Kidding.
What?
This flavor is fire. And if you don't agree, then you can take a break and a music note. Okay, because that's good writing. Because at first I was like, what? Oh.
Wow.
They got me. They got me. I was like,
They had
wait
you
a
in the
minute.
first half, not gonna lie.
Yes, I did. I was like, excuse me? Also, this is a special one, but look at this little.
Oh,
come on now.
The lucky
I know.
Neko.
Okay, there we go.
I love it. I love
And
the
it's-
lucky
and
Neko.
it's-
That's
it's,
so heckin' cute.
That's all.
Oh,
Little
it's got
bell,
the
and it's like
Yes.
like a actual ceramic too. Not
Nice.
just one little plastic. Which I'm like, oh, that's so pretty and cute.
That is a special. Like occasionally they will do
Yeah.
special little gifts in Japan Crate. I remember a while ago I got one and it was a little coin pouch in the shape of a husky, and it was so cute.
So there is that.
Yes. Yes, the good stuff.
Let's see some other exciting things we have in here. Chips, always a favorite.
Yes.
Love chips. So they got your salty and your sweet.
The unboxing ASMR.
Yes.
Yes.
We got a beverage. What is this one? It
Looks
is
like grape jelly.
Yeah, it does look like a jelly. Then it's the fun thing of trying to figure it out. Ooh, shake, grape jelly.
Hey!
Grape drink, shake it up to break up the jellies and enjoy the fun texture of Japan's most popular jelly drink. These are really fun. If you've not had these kind of beverages, if you don't have a Japanese grocery store by you should get it.
Or you can go to what's the mart that they have?
There's a
Japan Crate has an attached market where you can
Sugoi
buy
Mart.
it. Sugoi
Yes.
Mart. That's right. You can
Picture
go to
individual.
Sugoi Mart and pick up your own.
Just to acknowledge it because I muted it. John Knight says, I hear screaming. Yes. I live by people, so, there can be noise.
That tends to happen when you're in a city.
Right? Okay, we got more grape. I feel grape. Well, I guess it's purples and pinks. So, fettuccine Italian grape gummy. So, it's the shape.
Yes.
I was like, let's try it. We gotta do some ASMR
Just say,
for y'all.
usually I pick like one thing out of your box where I'm like, oh, I want that. But if everything is grape, I just want the whole box. Gimme.
Mm. I wish I could have you all smell it. So the other thing too,
Smells like grape.
yes, but for those of you who don't know, Japan grape flavor is not like our grape flavor. It actually tastes really good. Not an artificial medicine grape. It has a really nice flavor.
Yeah. It's almost like a musket grape of sorts.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. What do we got? ooh, this is a fun one. I'm like, it looks like a beer. Prime cracker, spicy camembert. Cheesy crackers for a cheesy holiday. Enjoy 2 bags of flavorful camembert cheese sandwiches. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Crackers in 1 pack. 1 for you and 1 for tomorrow.
Nice. It's not even sharing. It's 1 for you and 1 for tomorrow.
Yes.
Like, no,
Yeah.
Japan Great gets me.
A little Hello Kitty.
Aw.
We've got a little chocolate car.
Oh, jeez.
What is this corn one? This one looks
What do we have? Monopoly.
Ooh, popcorn.
Oh,
Popcorn's new.
Meister Special. Is that what that says?
Yes. Mike's popcorn salt butter. In Japan, we go to the movies Solo Dole. Okay. They are doing a good job writing these because I'm like, you need to pay attention. In Japan, we go to the movies Solo Dolo, so there's no stigma or judgment on why you're going alone. It's just it's the norm. So we got this popcorn for you to enjoy by yourself. However, it's also super shareable too. Your call. Oh, that's cute.
Love it.
I was like, what?
Love it.
Okay. Ooh,
And the copywriters are on fire this time.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. They're making you go, what did you say?
Yeah, no, I love it.
We got some, looks like Sequoia strawberry chocolate bar. Yum, yum, yum.
Ooh.
And let's show something else here that's really cute. Oh, Harley chocolate puffs. It's like a little bear.
Oh.
That's super cute. All right, so that's just kind of a small sample of what's in here. There we go.
Because we usually only show you like a third of what's in these boxes. Because you get the premium boxes, right?
Yes, this is premium box. And so you get all those goodies inside.
And also a heckin' cute box.
Happy Valentine's Day. Yes.
Yeah.
So experience. Oh, there we go. It says experience Japan through Valentine's. Which is so
And again,
cute.
if you saw anything in that unboxing that you enjoyed, but you're like, I'm not sure if I want a whole crate, go to Segoy Mart. You can get it there.
Yes.
Because that is Japan Crates. I would like this individually, please. Website.
Which is awesome because there's been a couple of them that I'm like, yes,
Oh, yeah.
I want more of those things. And
Yeah.
similar to the grape one, I think there was I think it might have been pineapple. Definitely it's been a pineapple and apple
God.
ones have been really good. So we got real quick. Rab says, "So not NyQuil? How odd? I know,
Yeah.
right? Their grape flavor is actually really good, and then grape.
Yeah, and I say this as someone who actually likes like the artificial cherry and the artificial grape in the US, and I know it's like cough syrup flavors, but a Japan artificial grape is amazing. It's heckin' good.
And this one is tasted too. And so yeah,
Yes.
there's little jellies inside, which is it's kind of like you're drinking like a lychee beverage with like pieces, but softer. But yeah.
Or I mean, just like if you've ever mixed up your Jello cup.
Yeah. So then we also other noises.
I was gonna say, is that your pupper?
Yeah, she's
Hello,
like,
pupper.
excuse me.
Like, you can unbox me now.
She's like, where
Hi.
are my snacks? Where are mine? All right. But yes, back to other excitement. My goodness. So Trigun, but we have our other little disclaimer. So what is that, Katie,
Yes.
that we let people know about?
For those of you who have not watched this show yet, hello, yes, we love you. We are going to spend the first part talking about specifically this episode of Trigun Stampede. We are keeping it spoiler-free for the manga because we have not read it, and for the 1998 anime. We do have a part where we will then segue into talking about the 1998 anime if we need to, doing comparisons, etc., but we will do our best to keep the first part as spoiler-free as possible. And if you have not watched the earlier anime and you would like to, just keep an eye on those lower thirds, mute it so you stay unspoiled, and then unmute it when you want to hop back in. We do keep these lower thirds updated, so it makes it easier for you guys to listen without being spoiled for things you don't want to be spoiled for.
Yes.
Respect.
Yes. No spoilers, y'all.
Yes.
This was an exciting episode and a cliffhanger. They have been cliffhangers before, but this was like all right, buckle up, y'all.
My very first joke about this is spoilers, so we're just going to put a pin in that, and we'll be back.
Okay, we'll come back to it. I like their desert cruise ship, which makes sense. If you're going really far distance, it'd probably be too much trouble to
and I mean,
go on
you
your
can't.
own.
Yeah, and you can't maintain rail lines in a desert,
No.
but you can still, like, the Great Sand Sea. And I love that they just took the map that we've been so accustomed to seeing and plotted out the course.
Yes.
Like, no, this
I
is
appreciate
good.
it.
I enjoy this. And also, wow, that's why the orphanage has been writ so large on the map for this long. Holy
Mhm.
cow.
Which also, speaking of orphanage, and yes, this was definitely a very Wolfwood focused episode.
Yep.
I love the other animation style switch to do like, here's our flashback. I'm like, that's so cool because
That was unbelievably cute.
it was a cool twist to change that up because we're getting used to this style, and then it's like, hey, here's how we're gonna do flashbacks. I thought that was really cool.
And
So,
also doing it in the style of a silent movie where it's limited
yes.
dialogue and what we do have is
Yes.
on those like cards. I really loved that. And it really does make it feel like this was in another time and another place.
Yep,
Because we also
yep.
got the lab flashbacks, but the lab flashbacks were animated in the style that we're used to seeing. And
Mhm.
oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Whoo!
Charles says very picture books and somehow made it even sadder.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's a spoiler, but if it is, hold on to it later. But I was like, so wait, how old is Wolfwood then? Because we have no idea. Because
Who knows? Who knows?
We don't know when this happened. Yeah. We get him as a child, and he's had the accelerated growth as well. So he is a child in an adult's body, but we don't know how long it has been. So I was really curious about that, but I'm hoping we might get some context. But then again, that makes sense for his personality.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure this out with was it Rolo, the child sacrifice from 2 episodes ago? We murdered the child and the winds came. Like, oh, that's fucked up. But Rolo's stint of time was less than 20 years because we had that photograph of Vash and the comment about who looks the same for 20 years, what kind of demon. So
I'm glad our characters are up to date on that now because I was like, who do they know? Yeah.
And it is entirely possible. I think Rolo was probably an earlier experiment because we saw some of those drugs on working on Wolfwood, and it was very different.
Yeah.
So who knows? Wolfwood might just be like 18 in there.
Which really makes sense for his personality.
It's super fucked up.
That too.
And yeah, like you have this child in an adult's body who has also had to be your assassin for God knows how long, like hunting down failed projects, hunting down deserters, hunting down just heck.
Giga Derek says, for a second, I thought I was watching My Hero because every child is harmed in this show.
Oh, give it 15 minutes. I have opinions on that too.
Then
we're not there yet.
Yeah. We meet somebody from Wolfwood's past, which was
Livio.
Interesting. I don't know how much of somebody is in there. Because also when we see him in the flashback, I felt like that was he's already
gone.
A fraction
he's already gone.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's a person in there anymore. I think
Not
it's
the
a
same.
machine.
Yeah.
I will say the character design with just like that one strip on the face, amazing. So good.
Rab says Spartan 2 vibes.
Also fucked up, but you're not wrong. No, the Spartan Project had more humanity in it.
Yeah,
How messed up is that, you guys?
I agree.
How
I really
messed up is that?
That character design looked so cool because it was simple yet very effective and creepy.
Yeah.
And Wolfwood having some humanity in the sense of recognizing someone and not wanting to hurt this person, though.
Yeah. It's like, no, this person is his friend. And also just looking at this, like, how long has this cult of knives been a thing? The orphanage feeds into it. They're getting sacrifices from this city. Like, how long has this cult of knives been around? I'm sure it's called something else, but to me, it's cult of knives. That's just what it is. The stabby religion.
I agree. Yep, the double mini cross guns were cool. Those were very exciting. And then,
just the parallels. Wolfwood's Spartan Project was a mess, and the sun is slightly warm, but come on, government experiments, you know. For those going, what the heck are you talking about? Halo. Halo
Halo
has some hecked up lore.
Lots of great 3D camera movement when Bash fought Livio. Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, the camera movement has been one of the strongest. Like, whoever's doing the storyboarding for this show, just genius. Absolute genius, because storyboarding is when you lock in those camera movements. That's when you have the directions of this goes here, moves to this. We have a wide shot. We have this. Like, whoever is storyboarding this, like the team that's doing that, knows the capabilities of this software and uses it to the fullest extent. Like, my God, the storyboarders, chef kiss, hats off to you. Holy cow. And I know like the whole team goes into all of this, but like,
yes,
so appreciate the storyboarders. They don't get appreciated enough. But yeah. The camera movements have been some of the strongest parts of this show, more so than just about anything. I'd say the camera work is some of the best that it's been, just because of the capabilities of 3D animation. Like, it's much harder to get these camera shots in 2D. Like, it's a much more difficult animation process, but with 3D animation, with everything in the space, you can just go for it. And they have been using it to its fullest extent. So yeah, the camera in this has been amazing.
What was the other? Oh, all those poor bystander, security guard, military folks. It's like, no, leave. You're all in danger.
Their job. They're just.
And I'm like, this is why Bash gets in trouble.
They're those poor bastards in a horror movie, you know? You got to have them there to up the body count. Like, they're just doing their jobs. They're trying to protect the people on the sand steamer. And yet. And just. Can we talk about Legato for a minute? Can we just talk about the entire nightmare that is Legato Blue Summers? Can we just appreciate that he's here? This angry child. Yeah.
I feel I'm lost in the moment. I'm like, who? But on the show?
Yeah, the psychokinetic guy with the blue hair.
Yes. Okay. I was
Legato fucking Blue Summers has returned. God help
with the funny blue hair. I was still focused on the boat, so I'm like, what are we talking about with the boat? Oh,
he sabotaged the boat.
Yes.
He's the one like, I'm in my car and I'm going to sabotage the boat and I'm going to make it crash into the orphanage. And I'm like, why aren't you twirling your mustache when you do this?
We got a bunch of red shirts.
Yeah.
Yes. And no one ever seems to listen to Bash. Nope.
Of course not. He's the Cassandra in all of this.
I do like that Legato was not liking Wolfwood calling him making fun of his blue hair, essentially. He's getting so sensitive about it.
I mean, also, to be fair, he may have looked like an adult, but at that time, Wolfwood's like 13?
Yes.
There's a John Mulaney bit about teenagers going right for the thing you're most insecure about to make fun of you. And it's like, middle schoolers are cruel. And I'm like, no, that is writ large.
Do you like
absolutely that? That's Legato getting bullied by a middle schooler.
Do you like his new character Divine? Okay, because I was like, I'm refreshing my memory.
Yeah.
What do you think of the character design versus what it was before?
It's good. Again,
I mean, this is comparison-ish, but not really. But
this anime, again, it's been a little more, I don't want to say minimalistic because that's not true, but it's taken a very different tack in terms of its designs, its world building, what it chooses to emphasize. So, like, it makes sense that this design, it's still very much got the elements that make it Legato Blue Summers. It's also very pared down. Like, they take a different angle from the design in the previous anime. And I don't know if the design in the previous anime would fit this one, but the one that they have here definitely fits with the aesthetic, like just of this anime. It's a great redesign. Legato shows up and ruins someone's day. Oh, is it Tuesday already? Of course he does. It's the only thing he does. Shows up and ruins things.
I'd say the only other major point I'd say before we get into the comparing was one, go Meryl of like, we need to be part of this. We can't just like be on the sidelines. And come on, Roberto De Niro, let's go.
And just him continuing, you don't get it. You don't get it. Like, you don't get it.
Yeah.
And the reality check of, we write for a tabloid. And it's like, okay, that would explain his information network, how he knows all of this hilariously sketchy stuff, why they're keeping on a guy who functions the way he does, and why it's like, oh, this is her first job, fresh out of college. I'm like, okay, this is not a prestigious newspaper, just given this. It's like, all right, no, this all tracks actually. Like all of this tracks now.
A couple other things. We got Rab saying plays more with image depth and texture. Maybe.
I mean, yeah.
And Charles says more sci-fi, less steampunk in the character design. We did talk about this before. There's less Western, too.
Yeah.
So there's that. Are you ready to get into the comparison, or was there anything else from this episode that we didn't get to?
I'm okay with comparison.
All right. So wait, what was the thing?
If we have a sand steamer, it's got to be a two-parter. It's like, we got the sand steamer, we got the Badlands gang, it's got to be a two-parter. Let's go. We hit the end of it, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Here's the Badlands gang. Where's the neon dude with the horrifying shoulder pads who runs this? Where is he? Give me the cowboy hat. And yeah, so except unlike the previous show where they were the threat in the episode, it's like, oh no, you're just making this worse. You're not the threat. You're a threat. I'm still not over Legato going, and then I'll crash the train into the orphanage. Like, really, dude? He just seriously, like, they should have designed him with a mustache so he could twirl it.
Right. I was looking back at the pictures for the old design. I like their bright color neon that they have going on.
Oh yeah,
the new ones, and it makes sense. Like, it's neon signs that they took over and changed. Yeah. And of course, I still love the old one. Nobody get it twisted. But it's more just the, I like, because I need refreshers sometimes because I was looking at a picture. I'm like, what does it look like? I'm like, oh yeah, I like that change.
And I mean, the previous Badlands gang, like, it was the leader that had all the neon, and just given the different animation styles and mediums, it's easier to make those colors pop when it's CGI. Like, it's harder to hand animate something that is supposed to glow like neon frame to frame to frame. So it's definitely easier to be like, and here's the glow, and here's the this. Like, it works better in a CGI format just because of how the program works. Like, it's not, again, it's not a knock at the original. It's just like, this functions differently because of this. It's a change in the medium.
You know, the other thing too, in looking at, and we've said it before, and it is, but it isn't, almost this version is more realistic. Like, it's less extravagance. Like, look at old pictures. Somebody has like shoulder pads that are, like 3 feet tall versus like
the Legato shoulder pads and then the big like spiky wheel.
Yeah.
Like, again, yep.
Like, we get it in this, so I kind of.
But instead, he's got like the crazy design here on the arm. So it's this.
So maybe with the computer, it's like leaning more towards real world, or at least then this would be the next step before, like, if it was in person. And I don't know if I'd want to watch a real life version because I'm like, those always seem to be messed up. But like, this is the next step over from the over the topness that the 2D animation style, which is great in and of itself. So this is a neat alternate version of it.
And again, this show, in its approach to the world building, in its aesthetic, in its everything, is it's much darker, but it's also much less exaggerated.
Yeah.
Which, we got the father and son scientist, and instead of the son being the size of a multiple story tall building, which is what it was in the OG, we have that's still huge, but slightly more in the feasible in a human body range. So it's things like that. They cut down on a lot of the exaggeration. They cut down on a lot of instead of doing the character design Naito wildness, they went for the heckin' dark fucked up plot Naito wildness. You pick and choose what you emphasize.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, I'm curious to see where it ends, but right now, in watching it, I would recommend to people, go watch the old one and then watch this one, because with the old one, I feel you get more room to breathe of getting to know these characters longer.
Yes.
And then this one is more streamlined and different enough that I'd be like, go watch the other one first, so you get like all this information, and then watch that other one to go right into it.
Yeah, and again, the thing I really appreciate about the old one is that we have that time to breathe, is that there's a lot more humor in the balance of the show, and that also really highlights when things go wrong, when things get dark, and especially in the beginning, like 10 or so episodes, when it's mostly humor, mostly kind of monster of the week, whatever, when you have that minute or two in the episode where it's serious or where Vash is having a flashback or when something goes wrong, like it really highlights that, oh, this is serious, oh, something's happening. So when it starts getting into that darker tone of the show, it's like, oh. So again, I miss the humor, I miss the wackiness. I'm also very upfront about that being a personal preference.
Giga Derek says Legato's introduction is a bit less terrifying, a bit more evil in this one.
I'd say in this one it was more directed. Just in terms of like, he is an enforcer for this program. He is higher up, and I don't even know if they're calling them. I don't think we've had the phrase the Gung Ho Guns dropped in this. We had a different organization.
They work for Michael and Angels. And
Michael. Like, the Order of Michael. Yeah, but
we'll see where that goes.
Brain. Like, he was one of the topmost Gung Ho Guns.
Yeah.
And again, he is also very much an enforcer here. But his introduction here being very much directed against Wolfwood, against a character that we care about and torturing him, as opposed to the introduction in the OG anime, which is him just chilling in a bar and a bunch of admittedly awful humans who have a couple of women that they've kidnapped and traumatized in tow, and they start kind of going after him, and he just straight up murders them all. And that it's actually really horrifying, and then just tells the women, you're free now, make the decisions that you will. So on the one hand, it's like, yeah, those were not good people. And on the other hand, it's like, oh no. So very different execution for the character. Yeah, showing off that telekinesis arm. Yeah. Legato is an unholy terror. And him showing up is very interesting. Like, you know that the plot's gonna go places and that shit's gonna get dark when Legato Blue Summer shows up. Like, oh boy, this guy. But he just seems like more of a petty asshole in this version, and I kind of love it. Like, previous show had him be like that very cool, aloof sort of personality. I am doing my job, whatever. And this one, he's just like, don't make fun of my hair, jerk. Like,
and then he's also like, oh, I'm sorry, I broke your toy, my bad.
Oh no. Oh, and again, we're gonna send the train into the orphanage. Like, you really, like, not discounting the stakes of this, but also very much like, seriously, dude, are you fucking serious? You really? Just that sort of thing. It's like, okay, I guess we're doing this now. You gonna tie someone to the tracks on the way there? Like, it's pretty that much kind of villain move. It's that OG Snidely Whiplash, mustache twirling. It's that sort of thing. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I love it.
Yes. On that note, anything else before we move to My Hero?
That's about all I have. Also, how old is Wolfwood? Seriously. Oh, and this is the first time that we've seen Livio animated. He was not in the previous anime.
All right, good to note.
Yep.
And then where did it go? Legato needs to be this extra. Yes.
Okay, he was already extra to begin with. This is just petty. This is petty.
All right.
I love it. It's terror. It's a different flavor of unholy terror than aloof, in charge, in control. This one's just an overpowered petty bitch, and I love him.
Yes. And then, you didn't really get to every child is harmed in the show, literally all of them. So what were you going to say about that of kids?
Oh, that was my segue into My Hero Academia.
Yes. So segue into My Hero.
Speaking of harming children, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Speaking of harming children, put that on the bingo board. Fucked up segues. Should have a bingo board for this show.
We or did have a drinking game once, so we'll keep it going to a different one.
Take a sip every time you get Big Monday energy. Every time we specifically say those words, not every time we exhibit it. Yes, a drinking game is meant to be played every show. Bingo boards tend to be for special occasions.
Fair. Okay. Well, I appreciate that, we were a little concerned about Deku telling all his buddies, but I'm so glad that he's in it with the teachers and the pro heroes
with
too.
Some adults. With some actual adults. I cried again. His conversation with his mom, and then All Might flashing back to begging her to let him come back to school, and I will give my everything. I will lay down my life to protect him. Yes. And it's like, and now we're here. My brain once again provided me with the phrase, your sainted mother, so I guess I just get super Irish when I'm sleep deprived and upset at things. Thank you. I was also sitting here going, God damn it, Batman. Like, oh, he's Batman now. That's great. That's cool.
Yes. Well, Deku's gonna do what Deku's gonna do. So I appreciate
very shonen protagonist of him.
Of course, we can't expect anything less. Though I appreciate that this is a slightly structured environment. Yes. That our Alfred is waiting for Batman, and they have their little powwow of like, okay, their little get together of like, all right, let's go over this. How you doing? Let's check in with each other. Yeah. And that Hawk's Best Genius and Endeavor is all in on this too, because he was doing it too much by himself. We needed to incorporate other people. Though I'm still waiting for the other students to show up, because they are going to. You just know.
And oh my gosh, stares loudly at the ending theme. But yeah, I mean, I do love All Might recognizing, like, even if I tell you to go back, you're just going to do your own thing, aren't you? All right, I'm going to come with you. Let me support you while you're doing your own thing. So it's just this sort of, we know the shonen protagonist is going to shonen protagonist, okay, but he's got this support system because All Might, who was the shonen protagonist of the prequel here, is also like, okay, no, I get how this goes. You're not going to run off on your own. We'll take care of you.
Also, that he was able to active talk to one of the previous wielders, which was cool. And because normally it had been in, more unique circumstances. So he's like, yes, Smoke Dude, this is what, I'm using my power. Okay, thanks. Good to know. I'm like,
Thank you, Smoke Dude. I appreciate it. It's like, you're thinking of individual quirks. Think of them as tools in your toolbox. It's like, dang, dude. All right. Like, okay.
Well, because he was doing that a little bit, but it is that idea there needs to be the blend rather than like piece. It's like, okay, put that together. And
that Spidey sense is really
that is very coming in handy, yes.
But it's also I'm sure that it's gonna heck him up, because it's just like, oh, there's a villain nearby, and the Spidey sense goes off. It's like, okay, do you sleep? I'm gonna go with probably not. But also, All Might brought him his lunch, and that's cute.
Yes. I felt bad for his mom. I was like,
my God. Oh my God. And just the flashback to the little, help me. Like, oh no.
Oh, you said no. That inspired me. And she's like, gosh darn it. Okay.
Oh. Yeah. I have raised a son who is too good for this world to fear. And that might come true. Oh
no. Back to sending children out to do adults work of the students at the beginning, trying to go help the people hiding out.
Yeah. And it was very much just like, can we convince them to evacuate? Can we? Because the whole idea was definitely not to put the students up against these crazy villains. It was very much like, you can handle yourself. You should be able to get away if something happens. But also, and I can appreciate this little group of people up in here. I can appreciate them going, we put our faith in that. And then when push came to shove, everyone we put our faith in abandoned us. We're not going to do that again. And it took them proving, like, no, we're not going to abandon you. We are going to, like, we don't want you killed. He will kill you.
Yeah.
That's what it took for, oh no, we all right, we're going to hear you out. Like, a dose of reality there.
Those students need to just leave sooner. Like, the job should be, go tell people, like, hey, you should leave. We will assist you. Okay, you don't want to leave? Okay, thanks. We tried. Bye. Like, no, don't
Let's be real. It's very much the personality of who they sent that had them trying really hard to convince them, as opposed to, we sent the message, we did our best, we're going. Like, I'm sure the mission was, go, do your best, but don't get stuck there and don't
Yes.
beat a dead horse. These are already people who are resistant to this. You're going in on hard mode.
Charles says the music in that scene with Deku's mom was heartbreaking, same as when he's saying goodbye to Gran Torino. I loved taking the Gran Torino scarf and making it part of his outfit. I was like, yes, carrying on that legacy.
But also, sometimes you have to kill someone to save them.
Oh, that was good. I was like,
We've had this conversation about this on the show before. And again, very, very clear that this conversation only applies to this particular work of fiction and this particular fictional world and should not be applied to real life, because real life does not have massively destructive superpowers held by individuals because of DNA. That's not how that works. It doesn't apply to real life. With that in mind, he's right, though.
Oh, yeah. There's so many villains that they have no sense of remorse. They don't want to change, and they're just dangerous to society. And again, in the world of this show, in the world of this manga, not real world. So yeah, totally on that.
Again, Shigaraki is just a walking nuclear bomb at this point, with his quirk being the way it is and his ability to control, like, hey, I want to kill everyone in this city block. Boop. Okay, done. Just you can't negotiate with someone who is determined to do that and has the power to do that just in their body.
Yes, and a crazy muscle man, which was scary.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where there's no negotiating with terrorists. Like, it's you can't disarm someone when their armament is their quirk. Unless you're Aizawa. Over. God damn it, Mafia. Overlord? No, what was his name?
Which one?
Kellen voiced him. He kidnapped Eri. It wasn't Overlord. Was it Overload?
Something like that. Yes.
My brain just. Whoosh.
I know. I'm like.
Take a sip, Big Monday energy. Help us, chat. Overwatch. You know who we're talking about. Not Overwatch. They've got a visual novel, though. It's going to be fun.
Overhaul. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're
that guy. He is the one where they literally disarmed him to stop him from using his quirk, which was messed up.
Yeah.
Just like, okay. All right. But yeah, it just... He's right, though. Like, yeah, we look at Shigaraki and we want to save him, but also there's only so much you can do sometimes. There is only so much you can do when someone is just determined to do that and has the innate power to do so. And again, there's a big old prison break. I appreciate Deku being Batman, but also, like, I don't think he sleeps. I think he's going to collapse. Like, this is going to be bad. Someone bring that child inside, give him a meal, and make him take a shower and a nap.
Worth noting, too, he has his reinforcement fashion now,
from the movie. Yeah.
Which was nice, too. Like, I like that little nod of, like, hey, how are your limbs holding up and everything? Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, you can handle that.
And also the talk with the doctor about, so I know last time we had this conversation, it was this, but things have changed and now it's this. You still need to stop doing this, but
stop breaking yourself.
Might not be as dire now. Like, okay, appreciate that as the external stakes have grown, the internal stakes have lessened a little bit. We're evening out the pressurization here.
Yeah.
And I'm still mad at Deku for being Batman, but also, like, no, it makes a lot of logical sense when you have someone who can take out an entire city block with decay. Like, you don't want to put the target in the middle of a densely populated area. So it's like, I hate
the evacuation zone too.
Yeah. I mean, all he has to do is touch the fence on the outside, and everything goes down, and everyone dies. So, as much as I don't like the Batman routine, him not being there makes sense. Like, it's so messed up, and yet the first time running. It's the first time the "I need to be away from you so you're not a danger" has like actually made sense. Usually that's just it's in your head, you're better off with your team thing. But
Yes,
here it's
yes.
like, no,
Yeah.
that's an actual valid concern, messed up as it is. He still
Yeah.
needs the support, but also like, yo,
Yes.
this is an anime that keeps having me going, oh yeah, no, that's a valid point. Like, this is usually an overused trope, but no, this is a valid point. Or, thank you for actually pointing out that it's messed up that kids have to fight these battles because the adults couldn't hack it earlier. Or, like, the show has been, or even just in the earlier seasons, talking about the teaching part of things. And, like, yeah, no, teaching is hard. Mentoring children is hard. This is not an easy job. It's like, this show is extremely real in ways I was not expecting it to be, and has been from season 1. And I appreciate the hell out of that.
Oh, and also just the structure of the storytelling in terms of the muscle man, because at first I was like, when did we meet him before? And then they're like, here's a very quick flashback. We're not going to waste your time with a flashback, but here's a quick visual. I'm like, yes, cool, thank you.
Here's the highlights. Remember Coda? Yeah, yes. That.
Because other ones, some shows can take too long. I'm like, I get it. Yep, we remember. Move on. But it's just like yes,
here. The Naruto flashback within a flashback structure.
So yeah, I'm liking where it's going. I'm glad that Deku has support, and we are moving forward with his growth process of strength. And because he just has to get stronger. Like he is on a better training regimen now, and fighting in the field is the only way he can really safely go all out and not worry about fighting a student and like hurting them. But it's like, no, you have to go all out against the villain. Okay.
But also just the difference between like fighting Muscle was this big climactic, like it injured him, it took everything he had. He was honestly terrified that he was going to die. Like this, it was an incredibly well done fight. And then here it's just boom, boom, done. Mm-hmm. Like, wow.
He's getting better too of controlling his emotional response too, because that's been the other thing of like, freaking out or whatever. It's like you have to remain focused and have a game plan when you're doing this.
But the thing with that is, trying to put all my thoughts in order here. The idea with Deku is that he's always kind of been like our soft shonen protagonist. Not soft as in weak, but we did kind of start there. But soft as in like emotions. It's not just the shonen protagonist based on Goku model of I like food, I love my friends, I get mad when they get hurt. Like, yes, that is the shonen protagonist model, but he's been emotionally intelligent. He's been a soft boy instead of a hardhead who hits everything to fix it. Like, we've had more soft boy shonen protagonists, and I for one appreciate the hell out of that. But But for here, like the fact that we're going into this and that his costume, when he pulls down the cowl, makes him look inhuman, and that he's gone fully analytical for so much of this. Like, he might be stronger, he might be better at getting these fights done quickly and with minimal damage. This is not good for him. The visual design, the shorthand language of the show, like all of it is making it very clear. This is not a good emotional development for Deku. He is not on the right path as a person. And I really just think that pulling the cowl down and his eyes go black, like that is a VizDev design. That is a VizDev decision. That is... That's incredible. That is just such a good way of cutting off the, he's a people, but he doesn't fucking look like it right now. He looks like a monster between the ears, the black eyes, the grit across the mouth that looks like huge teeth. Like, he looks like a monster when he puts on that costume. And we know he's not. But it's also very much a visual indication of, sir, not okay right now.
He's a Donnie Darko bunny.
A little bit.
You were saying not hard-headed, but then I'm like, well, we got our soft boy Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, who is hard-headed though.
Who is hard-headed?
But yes,
physically hard-headed. Yeah. But no, we are in teal soft boy heaven when it comes to shonen protagonists right now, and I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea of the emotional intelligence, the ability to care for their friends, but also to have some empathy for the people they're fighting. And even when it's a little curtailed and a little of the understanding, how did they get this way? Why do they do what they do? Asking Muscle like, so what's your deal? Like, quick question, what the fuck? And Muscle like, oh, I just do it because I like violence.
He's like, just fight me. And
alrighty,
you're like,
cool,
okay.
great,
Nope.
awesome. You are what happens when a Saiyan goes wrong. Alrighty. To the police. And just like, you have Iron Maidens here, right? Like, is that what they're doing while the prisons are down? Just Iron Maidens? Like, that's also extremely fucked up. But also, I get it. Like, again, particularly,
yeah.
Again, it's one of those things where it's like, this only applies to the world of this show. And even in the world of this show, we can sit here and go, this is messed up. But we can also look at the opening monologue gave us, Japan is currently lawless because of the breakdown of the system and the sheer amount of villains who are out wreaking havoc. So, like, just sitting here going, well, if the police have figured out a way to restrain villains while the prisons are breached, I can recognize that it is heckin' yikes, but I can also be like, so this guy was just out here murdering people for funsies? I'm not gonna say no to shoving him in a box to keep him from murdering people for funsies. Because if we let him out, he's just gonna keep murdering people for funsies. Like, ugh! It's not a good situation. None of this is okay. It's just a matter of which human rights violation do you prefer? Like, the one with the least loss of life. Let's go with that one for now, and we'll deal with the intricacies when people aren't dying on the streets. Like,
yeah.
Woof! It is very apocalyptic in Japan at the moment.
It continues the theme from our Trigun to My Hero of like, whoo, yes.
Different flavor of
different
apocalyptic.
Flavor, but very, yeah, but different, or same double feature. There you go.
I keep thinking of, there was this one Tumblr post, and there is a lot of good stuff on Tumblr, let's be real. It's the Blue Hell site, but it's the fun Blue Hell site, talking about how, like, for when you get YA teen lit that's apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic, it's like, so it's always in America. Thank you. Tangent corner time. It's like, so it's always takes place in America, but like, is it only happening in America? Is the rest of the world affected by this? Or is it just us? And someone replied with, like, Europe over here going, so is America still doing that Hunger Games thing? Or do you think they're open to contact with the rest of us again? Just this thought of like, oh yeah, no, there's, and again, because it's a post-apocalyptic and generally fairly focused because of it, but just this idea of like, one country has gone to hell and is post-apocalyptic, and everyone else in the world's kind of like, you okay over there, buddy? You all right? Our diplomatic mission did not come back. Like, you holding up all right? So it's messed up, but I really do love that, like, we have Japan descending into this supervillain fueled apocalypse, and they're making it very clear that a lot of what is preventing aid is that the Japanese government is in a shambles and the paperwork can't be processed. Like, I appreciate that it's not just, you think they're still doing that Hunger Game? Should we just let them do their thing? And more, no, we're trying. We've actually addressed this issue. Like, I like that. I like that.
I was going to say, since we're still in Tangent Corner, I do like how they did that with Handmaid's Tale very, very early on, because when you read it, you're like, is this everywhere? And then with the show, they do a little bit more of, here's where it is. So I was like, that was actually kind of nice to tell you where.
I've only read the book, but I'm pretty sure Handmaid's Tale is also mostly like, this is only in America.
Just in the book. The show says it's in other places, or at least they interact with other places too.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
I only watched it for a couple first few seasons, so I'm like, I don't know where it went after that. But anyways, back to that wraps up our My Hero Academia for now, and then let's get
before we segue. And I forgot to give you this, and I forgot to put it under news. But can we do a nice little gaming section?
Yes. Where are my game? Boom.
Yeah, because your girl has Overwatch news. Let's go! All right. We have so much Overwatch League stuff, you guys. We got the community update. We have the season. The season is starting next month. Oh my god. Oh my god. We are getting gameplay. It's going to be split into spring and summer stages, anchored by 2 global LAN events, where the return of the mid-season madness and, of course, the grand finals. They remain divided into East and West regions, but the East region is going to have a more open ecosystem that allows contenders teams to qualify and participate. So that is huge news and a huge opportunity for contenders teams in the APAC region to be able to step up and play with the big boys. So that is very fun. Competition starts on March 23rd. 3-week Pro-Am tournament in the West showcasing League and contenders teams. League circuit play starts on April 22nd. We're no longer working with league points. It's going to be overall record in regional qualifiers. There will be more fan engagement with more events. Second half of the season is going to mirror the first half in terms of format, culminating in grand finals playoffs. I'm very excited. And then there's a bunch of details about how everything works, how the tournaments work, the different stages, etc. I'm very, very excited about all of this, you guys. I saw new shirts. There probably are new shirts. The only new ones I've seen so far have been the Houston Outlaws kit, and it looks amazing. I'm not in a place where I can drop $100 on a jersey, but I wanna. Keep it Hanzo. I'm getting there. You guys. Because the other thing Overwatch has given us has been Season 3 in Overwatch 2, which has started. Or if it hasn't started, Tuesday release. It either started next week or it starts tomorrow. So we have an anime collaboration for the first time. Doomfist has a One Punch Man skin.
Yeah, Jasmine was posting about that on Twitter. I saw that.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, okay.
They announced that and we all lost our minds. I'm like, no, this is perfect though. And it looked, yeah. So there is that. They are also releasing, I believe it comes tomorrow, a visual novel, a dating sim for Overwatch, where Cupid, who looks a hell of a lot like Hanzo, helps you, the player character, romance either Genji or Mercy. Oh my god, you guys, it's called Loverwatch. So that is going to be at loverwatch.gg. I believe it's browser-based. So I'm extremely excited for that. I believe it drops tomorrow because, of course, Valentine's Day and because Tuesday is update day. Yes, Moomin Rider Soldier 76. So we have more than one Punch Man skin dropping this season. So yeah, that is beyond exciting. And for those of you going, well, I will be streaming Loverwatch. I will not be streaming it tomorrow, but I will be streaming it. So hop in my stream, join me. We are going to do this absolutely wacky visual novel. I am beyond excited for this. And I very much appreciate Overwatch just leaning into the curve for this. For the One Punch Man collaboration skins, for Loverwatch, for all of this. And I am beyond excited for the new season of League, especially being able to fold in the contenders teams. This is amazing. And there's a lot of contenders players who haven't been able to go up to League for one reason or another, which really makes me wonder what they're going to do about the age bracket thing, because there are players in contenders who are under 18. Because League has a hard in, you must be 18 to play. You can be recruited by a team before you're 18, but you cannot play before your 18th birthday. So it really makes me wonder how that's going to work with some of the contenders teams that have 15 and 16-year-olds who are absolutely crazy good, but not old enough to be in the pro scene yet. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure that will be mentioned, delineated, etc. somewhere. I'm sure those rules are already disseminated to contenders teams. So we'll see. We'll find that out. In the meantime, play starts on March 23rd. Loverwatch drops, I believe, tomorrow. And I am beyond excited for all of this. Thank you for allowing me my gaming section. I totally forgot about it at the beginning.
No, it's all good. That segues in a way to things you should be watching or checking out. That's how it works.
Overwatch. Yeah, we have fun.
Yeah. No, I did catch Sword Art Online Progressive, Scared So of Deep Night. It definitely does pick up where we left off with the other Sword Art Online Progressive film, which came out before this one. So make sure you watch that first because it is a continuation of that story. It is characters from that story. So if you haven't watched it, you'll be like, who's this new character to this franchise? So it is another exciting installment of the SAO franchise, but you do need to have watched the other film. Otherwise, you'll be confused.
It's like watching Endgame without watching Infinity War.
Yeah, you'd be like, who are these people? And you're like, no, you need to know who they are.
This is great, but also what?
Yes.
Yeah.
So go check that out in theaters, as we've mentioned before. A couple other random ones. What did I say? I started reading Demon Slayer, the manga, because getting ready for the film coming out, I was like, let me just go back and let me read the manga because I was curious to just see if there were any differences. And since I've already watched it, like it's another way to consume that medium. So far it's interesting because I would say the difference between the manga and the show is that they pretty much feel like the same for same. But I feel the show lets the manga breathe, because it kind of zips by when you're reading it, and the show shows more, or like just the fight sequence. And I'm so curious what it was like. And if you were someone who read the manga and then watched the show, please leave a comment. I wonder what that experience was to see that first fight scene visualized, because it's shown in the manga, kind of, but the way the show visualize it is beautiful and stunning. And even as someone who just watched the show, I was like, this is so great. So I'm like, what was it like reading the manga and then going in that? So it's so far so good. I'm at the part where he just got his sword and it turned black, and he's going to his first assignment. So that's where I am and it's so fun to read it. If you've already watched it and you never read it, I highly recommend reading it, because you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this bit. This is a really cool scene and sequence. And so it's fun to go back into it that way.
And I believe the Shonen Jump app, is it Viz or is it Shonen Jump?
I got it from my local library.
Hey!
So, which, side note, quick thing, if you are, I'm like, this is stuff you should check out, but important tangent corner. If you are in the state of California, your library does have access to order things on Amazon depending on how much it is. They will ship it to your home, and then you just return it to the library when you're done. And it'll become part of the library collection. I was like, what? Because I went to my library. I was like, hey, do you have a Bride's Story, which is a really good manga if you haven't read it. They only had like volumes, I don't know, like 1 through 6 or so. And this lady, the librarian, told me, oh, well, if it's at a certain price point on Amazon, we can order them. They can only do like 1 a month, I think, because they were ready to give me like the next couple of volumes. And so they sent an email like, oh, sorry, we can only do 1 month. I'm like, I don't care. That's still awesome. So yeah, it's like part of a California library grant. So if you're in the state of California and you really want to book at your library, go talk to a librarian and see if they can order it for you.
So, that's amazing.
Right?
That is amazing.
And this supports manga cause and authors too. So don't feel like you're not supporting them. You totally are. And then this even more so, because then it buys the book and then it gets to your library, and then other people can read it. And Demon Slayer is one of the books that the librarians had like a staff picks section, because I couldn't find volume 1. I'm like, where's volume 1? And it was down there. I'm like, oh, good. I'm going to read it.
It's displayed. I'm like,
yeah.
Mine.
So, it's mine. Yes.
That's really cool.
Right. So cool. All right. And maybe other states have it too, but yeah, go check. What about you? Of stuff and read.
Oh my God. It's just like, what day is it? What have I watched this past week? I started playing Crypt of the Necrodancer, and those who follow me on Twitch know that I can only do Hades for so long because these get mad. So I needed something that used a keyboard layout. Crypt of the Necrodancer is I think it's roguelite more than anything else. Dungeon crawler done to a beat. It's all rhythm based. And part of that is like, oh, that's really fun. And part of that's like, you do not have time to stop and think. You have to hit the buttons on the rhythm. And as someone who loves rhythm games, it's I think that's what I'm going to be streaming for a hot while. I played it for about an hour and I really enjoyed myself. So, yeah, Crypt of the Necrodancer, it's on Steam. It's very fun. And again, only an hour in and already sitting here like, yes. I also finally finished Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think last time I mentioned it on this show, I'd watched both seasons, but had not yet watched the movie because we wanted to find time to enjoy it and not just fit it in. That was the correct instinct. And also, that movie went places. It's like, oh yeah, no, the way the show has been treating its villains, I'm really looking forward to see what they do with the Krang. Oh my god. Evidently, the production for this show always wanted it to be a little darker than it was, and because Nickelodeon had it and wanted them to be a little on the goofier side, they did. And then Netflix was like, do the movie. We'll fund you. Do the movie. And they're like, can we be dark? And Netflix went, sure. And they went, okay. And boy, oh man, that movie went extremely hard. Very, very good. Absolutely beautiful animation. Like, I've talked about how the Sakuga in the show is really good, but like all of the animation, characters will be having conversations and I'll be looking at it going, look at that motion. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Movie level animation, you know? So yeah, highly recommend Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. First season and the movie are on Netflix. Seasons 1 and 2, but not the movie, are on Paramount Plus. I think seasons 1 or 2 are on the Roku channel if you've got Roku. Licensing is very weird on this one, but it is extremely good. It's been a while since I've gone this hard for a Turtles property, but this is amazing. Incredibly well done. Where the hell is season 3? Not confirmed, probably not going to happen. I think it also got hit with the cancellation bug, but you know, where's season 3? Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that because everything else has just been like the same 4 10-minute power hours because sometimes that's what the brain wants. And the Game Grumps now have a 10-minute power hour where they tried like 50 different flavors of Kit Kats. So if you watched us talk about Kit Kats and be like, oh, this one's great. Oh, this one's amazing. There's a 10-minute power hour about that. Do the thing. It's fun.
I pulled it up a second ago, but again, Gigadare says Legend of Vox Machina Season 2 wrapped up last week. A fantastic watch from start to finish. Nice. Yes. I haven't had a chance to catch the new season, but probably.
RWBY Volume 9 starts this weekend. For those not aware, haven't been keeping up on the news, etc., it will be a Crunchyroll exclusive for the next calendar year. It will not be on the Rooster Teeth website until this time next year when it releases weekly. So for this season, it is releasing weekly on Crunchyroll. That is going to start this Saturday, the 18th. It will have 10 episodes. There is no mid-season break. We're just gonna go, y'all. So fire up that Crunchyroll subscription. And if you have not watched RWBY yet, I believe it is all available stitched together as movies instead of individual episodes on the Rooster Teeth animation channel. Fantastic fantasy show. Very fun. For those looking at it like, well, the first season looks a little janky. Yeah, you do need to watch the first few seasons because there is a lot of world building and whatnot there, and that's how you get to know the characters. Season 4 is when they switch from Poser to Maya, and the animation goes like this. They get a budget, y'all. The first 3 seasons of RWBY were made with the budgetary equivalent of a handful of Cheetos and the change they found in the couch. So
but they made a thing and it kept going. So
absolutely, it takes a minute for the budget to hit, but the choreography is always on point. And it's one of those, oh, it looks like it's going to be a school anime. Oh, it looks fun. And then things occur and you're like, I'm invested now. And also, holy crap. Talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles going hard. Yeah, RWBY is one of those where they ease you into it and then they go hard. Very fun. Yes. I enjoy it quite a bit. Made me cry more than once. Very fun.
Well, we hope you enjoyed tuning in for Nighttime at the Nerd Bar. I was like, I'm going to get those. Oh, actually, speaking of puns, though, go watch The Puppy Bowl. It is adorable. You can watch it on HBO Max, Discovery Plus, a couple other things, I think, as well. which I'll mention about that in a second. But if you just want something cute and adorable, go watch that. And puns galore is super fun.
Yes, of course.
Yes, you would hope so, and it was. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching us live. If you watch it later, no worries. Comment down below on the topics we talked about. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button. And Katie, where can people find you and anything else you're working on?
So many things. You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. For those of you who do watch RWBY and like reaction videos, they live on that YouTube channel. Yes, they will be happening. No, they will not be happening on time because I'm not available this weekend. Also, like I mentioned, I've been streaming a lot more on Twitch. It tends to be Hades for the first 40 minutes to an hour or so, depending on how long these hold up, and then we switch to something else, casual streaming, Necrodancer, etc. So all that's there. That VOD also goes to YouTube. I am also a host on Silver Screams. It is a horror channel I do with my roommate. We talk about spooky stuff. I believe our most well, it's not the most recent thing, but it's definitely the most relevant at this point. We have a reaction video to the Scream 6 trailer, and Scream 6 drops next month. So that's going to be super fun. So check that out. That is a lot of fun. And if you are in Los Angeles this weekend and going to Gallifrey 1, I will be there all weekend doing stuff. Stop by the charity auction and say hi and donate a thing and bid on an item. We always have wonderful, wonderful nerdy stuff. And I'm always just happy to say hi to people at Galley. It's my home con. It's a good time.
Oh,
so yes, that's where I'm going to be.
Also, a quick shout out. Geek and Eric says 60 episodes. I should have brought some champagne. Oh, well, thank you. But yeah,
do on your own time when we do 100. 100
yes.
is the
boom. We gotta do a big party then.
Appreciate it.
All right. Yes, thank you. We appreciate it. Do your own beverage of choice at home.
This is full of water.
Yes, I was like, well, and then
hydrate or dehydrate.
Yes. You can find me online. There we go. Oop, there we go. Carrie D Lane across all platforms. KARIDLANE. Here on the Fanversation channel very, very soon because I'm working on them. They're almost ready. I have interviews with some of the cast and the showrunner and writer for Carnival Row Season 2. So that's very exciting because that's going to be premiering on this Friday, the 17th. So check out those interviews. They should be up very soon. But if you are subscribed to this channel, you will know about them. Also on the Fanversation Instagram and TikTok, there is some really fun footage of me with my dog. We went to the Puppy Bowl Pup Rally and played games, did photo ops. So you can check out that footage as well as lots of cute dogs in that video. And I think that's the biggest stuff right now. But yeah, just follow on the social medias. You'll see the stuff as well as I'm like, where did it go? Yes, go follow NTATNB, which is our Twitter. And that one we will have pictures of some of the things we talked about at the beginning of the episode. In case you're like, wait, what do those things look like that you guys were talking about? That's where they'll be. So go follow us over there. And that will also have other press releases that maybe if we don't get to it on here, that will be the spot to go. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in for our special 60th episode.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Happy Discount Chocolate Day.
Right.
Support your local Girl Scout troop and your local library.
Yes.
All
and
the things.
Again, thank you again to Japan Crate for those yummy Valentine's treats.
Yes.
And hope you have a fun holiday. And
if you celebrate, and if not,
yes,
that's also awesome.
Totally valid. We are sending our love your way. There we go. Love
Indeed.
Yay. All right. Take care, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.